Have you ever felt that gut-wrenching pain that seems to stretch through your entire being? That sensation where the world seems to crumble beneath your feet and you can't even fathom how you will stand again? You feel as though you've given everything, trusted wholeheartedly, only to find that the very thing you thought would uplift you has been ripped away. Betrayal, it leaves a scar deeper than words can capture. But let me tell you something, it is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your transformation. It is the moment where your strength, courage, and resilience rise to the surface. This pain, it will not define you. It will refine you. Betrayal trauma hurts because it strikes at the very core of our humanity. Trust, love, and connection. It cuts through our hearts in a way that no physical wound ever could. But in that pain, in that heartache, there's an incredible power waiting to be unlocked, a power to heal, to rise again, and to walk away stronger than ever before. Today, I want us to understand why betrayal trauma hurts so much, and how, through the pain, we find the courage to rebuild. Trust is a sacred thing. It is the foundation on which we build all our relationships, from the most intimate connections to the everyday interactions we have with people. When we trust someone, we open up our hearts, our vulnerabilities, our very souls. We offer them a part of ourselves that is precious, delicate, and irreplaceable. It's not just about believing that someone will keep their promises. It's about believing that they will honor the essence of who we are. We believe that in this person we find a safe haven. This is why betrayal hurts so much, because it is not just an attack on our trust, but on the very core of our being. When we place our trust in someone, we often do so with a deep sense of hope. We hope that the relationship will blossom into something meaningful. We hope that we'll be seen, heard, and understood. And when that trust is broken, it shatters not only the relationship, but also our sense of security. It is as though the ground beneath us is no longer firm. We question ourselves, did I misread the signs? Did I ignore the red flags? The self-doubt that comes with betrayal is often just as painful as the betrayal itself. This sense of betrayal is not just emotional, it is physical. The pain you feel in your chest, the tightness in your throat, the lump that forms when you try to speak, it is all a manifestation of the shock to your system. Your body reacts to the breach of trust because trust is not just a mental concept, it is a deep physical bond. When that bond is broken, your body experiences the rupture and the pain radiates through you, seemingly all-consuming. But here is the truth. Trust is a gift. It's not something we should take lightly, and it's certainly not something we should give away without thought. But when it is given, it should be protected, honored, and cherished. So when it is broken, it is not just about the other person's failure, it's about your own healing. It's about reclaiming what has been lost and finding the courage to trust again, not just in others, but in yourself. You must understand that trust is not only about relying on others. It is about trusting your own instincts, your own intuition, your own inner wisdom. The most painful part of betrayal is the feeling of being deceived. When someone you love and trust intentionally deceives you, it is like a dagger to the heart. It is an assault on your belief system, a reminder that not everyone has your best interests at heart. But in that hurt, there is an opportunity to learn. You must ask yourself, what have I learned about myself in this moment? How can I protect my heart, yet remain open to love and trust? We must also understand that when trust is broken, the damage is not just done to our relationship with the person who betrayed us. It affects how we view the world. It clouds our perception of others. It makes us question if we will ever be able to trust again. But trust, just like love, is a choice. It's a choice to heal, to move forward, and to give yourself permission to trust again, even if it means starting over from scratch. Healing from betrayal is not about erasing the pain. It's about learning how to live with it, how to grow through it, and how to find a new kind of trust that is grounded in wisdom. The road to rebuilding trust is not easy. It's a slow, sometimes painful process. It involves reevaluating your boundaries, understanding what you need from others, and learning to trust your own instincts once more. It's about giving yourself the space to heal and understanding that it is okay to be cautious. But it's also about choosing to believe in people again, to open yourself up to new connections, even when the memory of past hurt lingers. That is where your true strength lies. In your ability to rise above the betrayal and trust again. Not just in others, but in your own resilience. Remember, trust is not about expecting perfection. It's about understanding that people will fall short, but that you can still rise, learn, and grow from the experience. And as you rebuild, remember that the most important trust you need to nurture is the trust you have in yourself. Trust in your ability to recover, trust in your capacity for forgiveness, and trust in your strength to move forward. The betrayal of self-worth, when someone betrays us, it's not just a betrayal of trust, it's a betrayal of our very sense of self. The pain we feel goes beyond the wound inflicted by the other person's actions. It cuts deep because it forces us to confront our own worth. We start to ask ourselves questions we never thought we would. Am I not enough? Was I not deserving of honesty? Was my love not enough? This questioning of our worth is what makes betrayal so devastating. Our self-worth is not something we can give away lightly. It is something we must protect, nurture, and cultivate from within. And when betrayal occurs, it shakes that foundation. It forces us to reassess our value. The person we trusted and loved has essentially told us that we weren't worthy of respect, honesty, or loyalty. And in that moment, it's easy to lose sight of our inherent value. We begin to question who we are, what we have to offer, and whether we will ever find someone who truly appreciates us. But here's what I want you to understand. You are worthy. Your worth is not contingent on anyone else's actions or opinions. It is not defined by how someone treats you. Your worth is defined by the love you give to yourself, the respect you show yourself, and the strength you carry within. Betrayal may make you question your value in that moment, but it is precisely in those moments of doubt that you must rise above it and reclaim your worth. When we allow betrayal to define our sense of self-worth, we become trapped in a cycle of pain and self-doubt. But this is where the power lies, the power to choose. You can choose to let the betrayal diminish your sense of self, or you can choose to rise above it, to see it for what it truly is, a reflection of someone else's actions, not a reflection of who you are. Your worth is unshakable, and no betrayal can change that unless you allow it to. One of the most important steps in healing from betrayal is to rebuild your relationship with yourself. You must remind yourself every day that you are worthy of love, respect, and happiness. It's not easy, and it takes time. But the key is to start by treating yourself with the kindness, compassion, and care that you deserve. You are not defined by what others do to you. You are defined by how you treat yourself and how you choose to rise from the ashes of pain. Self-worth is not something that can be given or taken away by someone else. It's something that comes from within. It's a quiet knowing that you are enough no matter what. When betrayal strikes, you must remind yourself that you are deserving of love, of respect, and of peace. You are not defined by your past, by someone else's choices, or by the hurt you have experienced. You are defined by the strength you show in the face of adversity, by your ability to rise above the hurt, and by your capacity to love yourself, even when it feels impossible. So, take this moment to acknowledge your worth. You are more than the betrayal. You are more than the pain. You are a person of immense value, capable of healing, capable of loving again, and capable of rising stronger than ever before. The battle between anger and healing. When we are betrayed, anger is often our first response. It's natural. Betrayal evokes a deep sense of injustice, of feeling wronged, and the instinctive reaction is to fight back, to seek revenge, or at the very least to express our anger. But anger is a powerful emotion. It can either propel us toward healing, or it can keep us trapped in a cycle of pain and bitterness. The key is to understand the role anger plays in our healing journey, and how we can use it to empower ourselves rather than allow it to consume us. Anger, in its purest form, is a response to a perceived injustice. It is a reaction to being wronged, to being hurt, and to feeling that we have been betrayed. But it is important to recognize that anger, while a valid emotion, is not a sustainable path toward healing. If we hold on to our anger for too long, we allow it to fester and grow, poisoning our hearts and minds. We become consumed by the need for revenge or the desire to make the person who hurt us feel the same pain we feel. But holding on to that anger does not bring us peace. It keeps us tethered to the betrayal, to the past, and to the person who caused us harm. The healing journey requires us to release that anger, not for the person who betrayed us, but for ourselves. When we forgive, we are not excusing the betrayal. We are choosing to free ourselves from the weight of anger. We are choosing peace over pain. Forgiveness is a powerful tool, but it is not an easy one to wield. It requires a deep understanding that holding on to anger only keeps us stuck. It requires us to recognize that we are in control of our own peace and that peace cannot coexist with hatred or bitterness. But forgiveness does not mean forgetting. It does not mean allowing the person who betrayed us to continue to harm us. Forgiveness means that we acknowledge the pain, the hurt, and the betrayal, and we choose to move forward with grace and strength. It means that we are no longer willing to let anger dictate our lives. We are choosing to release the power that the betrayal has over us and take back control of our own emotions. The path to forgiveness is not linear. There will be days when the anger resurfaces, when the pain feels too fresh, when you are reminded of the betrayal and all the emotions come flooding back. But this is where the healing begins. Every time you feel that anger rise, you have the choice to release it, to choose peace, and to remember that your healing is more important than any revenge or bitterness. You must choose to heal, even when it feels difficult. Let me be clear. Healing is not about forgetting. It's about moving forward. It's about recognizing that your anger no longer serves you. It's about letting go of the need to control how others have hurt you and focusing on how you can heal and rebuild your life. You are not defined by the betrayal. You are defined by your ability to rise above it. The power of rebuilding and rising again betrayal can feel like a devastating blow, one that knocks you off your feet and leaves you gasping for breath. The pain can seem unbearable and the idea of rebuilding can feel impossible. But in this very moment of destruction, there's also an opportunity for renewal. The truth is, betrayal, though painful, is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a new chapter, one where you have the power to rebuild, to rise, and to reclaim your strength. Rebuilding after betrayal requires resilience. It requires the willingness to start again, to rebuild your life from the ground up. It's about taking the broken pieces of your heart, your trust, and your sense of self, and slowly piecing them back together. It's not easy. It's not quick. But it is possible. Every day that you choose to move forward, even in the face of pain, is a day that you are reclaiming your power. Betrayal teaches us about our own resilience. It forces us to confront the darkest parts of ourselves, the places where we feel most vulnerable, and it challenges us to rise from those ashes. The process of rebuilding requires that we let go of what no longer serves us, whether that's the need for validation from others, the desire to control the outcome, or the expectation that things should have been different. We must let go of the past in order to make space for the future. The beauty of rebuilding is that it is a process of self-discovery. It is in the darkest moments that we often find our greatest strengths. The pain of betrayal may make us feel weak, but it is in our response to that pain that we discover our true power. When you rise after betrayal, you show the world and yourself just how strong, resilient, and capable you truly are. Rebuilding is also about creating a life that is grounded in your own values, in your own truth. It's about understanding that betrayal may have shaken you, but it cannot define you. You have the power to redefine your life, your relationships, and your future. You are not a victim of betrayal. You are a survivor who has everything within them to rise again. Remember, healing is not a linear process. There will be setbacks. There will be days when the pain resurfaces, and there will be times when you feel as though you are not making progress. But every step you take, no matter how small, is a victory. You are moving forward, rebuilding, and reclaiming your life. You are rising stronger than ever before, and with each step, you are proving to yourself that you are unstoppable. You are more than the betrayal. You are a person of strength, courage, and resilience. This is your time to rise. At the end of the day, betrayal trauma cuts deeper than almost any wound because it shatters the foundation of trust that we build our lives upon. It's not just the breaking of a promise, it's the breaking of something sacred. The pain lingers not because we are weak, but because we were brave enough to love, open enough to trust, and hopeful enough to believe in someone. That courage, that vulnerability is what makes betrayal so agonizing, but also what makes us capable of transformation. Betrayal trauma hurts so much because it challenges everything we thought we knew about others, about love, and about ourselves. It leaves us questioning our judgment, our worth, and even our sanity. But in that very unraveling lies the opportunity to rise, not just to return to who we were, but to step into who we are meant to become. Each layer of betrayal peels back a truth we must confront. It reveals our pain, yes, but also our power. It exposes the fragility of human promises, but also the enduring strength of the human spirit. It teaches us not just who others are, but who we are when everything else is stripped away and we are strong. We are wise. We are worthy of love that does not wound. Betrayal trauma becomes a turning point, a sacred invitation to reclaim our voice, to rebuild our boundaries, and to finally love ourselves the way we deserved all along. You are not broken because someone broke your trust. You are not lesser because someone failed to see your value. If anything, you are more aware, more awakened, more aligned with your truth. And as you stand in the ashes of betrayal, you do not rise alone. You rise with lessons that will never leave you. You rise with compassion that runs deeper than ever before. And you rise with the kind of resilience that only pain can plant and only love can grow. You may never forget the betrayal, but you will outgrow the place it left you in. And that is the quiet, beautiful power of healing.